Everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Absolute pleasure to have you along on this Monday morning. So, where do we start? Well, I do have to have a little bit of a I love it in that. So Pete Hegseth is in Singapore at the moment at a global security conference thingy, came out and attacked Australia's defence spending and our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, aka Albo, it's like ALBO, or else Albo's up, basically told Hegseth to F off and mind his own business. We have increased our spending. But in the shadows, reading between the lines, it's basically you can't stab your closest ally in the back with 50% tariffs and then expect us to fall in line and kiss your butt, basically. So he's also come out, Albo has come out, and in regards to the 50% tariffs on Australian steel and aluminium. He's come out very clearly. He must have been listening to Dr. Lena yesterday because she said that he needed to come out and say this, and now he's come out and said it, that these tariffs are economic self-harm to the US economy and they are going to cost the US consumers. So he's very clearly pointed that out as well. Okay, where do I start? Well, I'm actually going to start with Ukraine. Bravo, Slava Ukraine. Love it, love it, love it. If you haven't heard the news, and I am just going to point out there was a train go off the rails a couple of days ago in Russia. I think there might have been some sabotage there. I'm not saying it's the Ukrainians, but I'm pretty sure there was some sabotage. And what I'm feeling is that it was a train used for troop movements. So I'm just putting that out there. But the one I'm talking about is the 41 bombers. 34% of the Russian cruise missile carrier fleet was destroyed overnight. Yes. 4 air bases. Now, Zelensky's come out and said that this attack has been in the planning for 18 months. What I really got when I read that was that it's actually been in place for a while and they were waiting for the EU to give the okay for, or NATO in general, to give the okay for Ukraine to launch attacks within Russia. That's all I was feeling. So this apparently it's been in the planning for 18 months. What it was that drones were hidden. So 117 drones were hidden in the roof cavity of mobile or portable sheds that were put on the back of trucks and moved deep inside Russia to within striking distance of the airfield bases. Now the trucks. They were driven by unsuspecting Russian drivers. And what happened is via remote control back in Ukraine, the roofs were electronically lifted up, mechanically lifted up, and the drones buzzed out. That sounds like something out of a movie. And laden with explosives and attacked the air bases. So over a third of the fleet taken out in one foul swoop. Apparently, Russia's come out and calling it its Pearl Harbor. Well, we know what happened with the attack on Pearl Harbor. It mobilized the US. But this is different because Russia has been mobilized for what, 3 years now? 3.5 years? Russia has been mobilized and does not have the troops. This is getting to the end. We are very much getting towards the ending. Now, on that note, I'm going to do reading a little bit later about the fact that this is all unraveling. You know, biff ups in the White House, supporters coming out, like big money supporters coming out against Felon 45. What I'm going to do a reading on this a bit later, but what you guys need to do. It's easy for me in Australia to say it, but those in the US, what you need to do is you need to decide what you want, what factors are important to you in what is going to be a new world. Because everything has been torn down. It's literally been burnt to the ground. Um, the current government systems, the current social security systems, the healthcare, the banking systems, everything is being torn down. And us readers have been saying for a long time now that it's going to get really wild, but we're human and we're actually optimists at heart. So even us underestimated how wild it's going to get. So put on that 4-point harness, which is your racing gear, for the roll, and make sure your roll bar's in place. But also now is the time to start galvanizing what it is that you want in this new world that will be coming out, rising up out of these ashes. But we're reading on that later. Um, I'm going to have a look at Ukraine. I'm probably going to use the same cards for both readings, the Light Seas Tarot, but I want to have a look. Have a look. Show me Ukraine. Okay, show me the situation. Oh, what have I got there? Okay. My guides often tell me to have a look at the two cards on the bottom of the deck because they've got significant meaning. So we've got the Knight of Swords hopping on the bike and moving forward. Now, this can be a harsh truth. It can be a kick up the butt to get moving. But we've got the Six of Wands, the victory card, the seen and heard. So that Knight of Wands can be about military movement and victory and plans coming together. And then with support, with partnerships, can be new partnerships, but this new beginning, a new beginning of leaders of the ilk of Zelensky who come from a powerful place of strength, but strength based in compassion and empathy, which is more powerful than strength based in greed and division. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Ukraine. If you can hear the washing machine, I do apologize. Let's have a look. Show me the energies of, okay, thank you. They're telling me to do an energies reading about the energies of what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. Show me the energies of Ukraine with this strike. Show me. I'm going to do the energies of Ukraine to start with. You want that one? Show me the energies of Ukraine. Show me the energies of Ukraine. What do we need to know? The energies of Ukraine. I can hear the machine going donk, 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 donk. It's washing sheets this morning. Show me the energies of Ukraine. Come on down. Let's have a look. Sorry about so much waffle. Okay. The energies of Ukraine, the Six of Cups. Now, it can be about going back to a simpler time, but to me, this is more about emotional comfort, loyalty to those that are important. Can also mean naivety at times, but no, I'm really getting, um, it feels very much about relief rather than celebration. It's like when you know that when you're just having a day, when you're having a day and you lean into your non-judgmental, love you no matter what, as long as you feed it and give it cuddles and a warm bed, fur baby, whether it's a dog or a cat or whatever it is, that feeling of just leaning in and taking comfort. So they're not celebrating. They're not. I mean, there might be a little bit of celebration, but it's not. it's not a flamboyant aggressive. It's more a leaning in and taking comfort type feel. I'm just going to actually pop that up because I forgot to do that earlier. Entertainment only, just to keep the YouTube censors happy. Okay. Challenged by this devil energy. Absolutely. All the Ukrainians want is to be left in peace, to bring up their families, to live their lives, to um, live their best lives. But the challenge is this energy of addiction and greed and corruption and betrayal. Absolutely. It's Kremlin energy. It's Felon 45 energy. It's just ghastly. Okay. It found not the foundation. We're doing an energies reading, so the energy behind the scenes is moving forward out of troubled waters, only taking the truth of what is important. So we're in this world shift at the moment where the adoration, okay, thank you. Love it when they correct me, the adoration of celebrity, uh, the bowing down and praising pseudo wealth, that sort of energy is that sort of past is going. That's very much the last 200 years that we've been in. That energy is going. And we're moving into the whole world is changing, where we're moving into this new energy of what is really important. And we're discarding a lot of what is not necessary. I'm just going to point out, I know this reading's a bit all over the place, but I think this is how Mondays go. The US GDP, and I've mentioned this before, is based on consumerism, not based on actually producing products. I mean, there is some production in there, but the majority of it is buying. And it's not necessarily buying it, and it's not buying made in America, uh, in the USA. It's buying products. So therefore, um, servicing those that work in the sale of products. The whole world is moving on from rampant consumerism, moving on from adoration of pseudo wealth or celebrity. The whole world's moving on, but Ukraine is integral in this. So, but we've also moving out of troubled waters on this truth. This is one of my Zelensky cards, and if you can hear the beeping, that's just the washing machine saying it's finished. This is one of my Zelensky cards. Stepping forward, man of action, but he has the compassionate and empathetic strength behind him, bringing forward a new plan, a new message, a new beginning. He's bringing forward the Ace of Wands. The energy coming out of this moving forward, this could also simply have been the attack, which is going to be a turning point. Putting up the boundaries and standing defiantly behind those boundaries and saying, you do not cross this line. So, yeah, Ukraine defending its territory. You do not cross this line. What's happened? Russia will be absolutely, when I talk about Russia, I'm not talking about the Russian people. When I talk about America, I'm not talking about the majority of American people. I'm talking about the Kremlin and those that are in control. They are going to absolutely lose their biscuits over the fact that this was an attack within Russia. They seem to think it's okay to attack, to target hospitals and schools and apartment buildings and electricity grids, etc. But boy, oh boy, if you take out third of the Russian bomber fleet, oh man, boy, do they get upset. But yeah, this is Ukraine saying, yes, we did it. We did it. We own it. We are defending our lands, and standing defiantly behind the message that they've sent. Now we've got the King of Cups here, come next to the King of Wands. The emotional stability, the negotiator, the diplomat, coming forward. Stable government. Now, this isn't my Zelensky card. It may be Mers from Germany. So coming out of the Zelensky energy, Mers from Germany. Now, the Polish elections are coming up shortly too. I'll have a quick look at that at the end of this. Okay, the karma hanging over at the moment is the giving and receiving of financial help. So Mers might be talking with, or whomever this is, might be talking with Zelensky. A lot of the European countries have liquefied or taken loans against Russian assets that were seized and are giving Ukraine the money. So I think that is going to continue, absolutely. The High Priestess, the higher order, the higher connection with universe, the feminine, divine feminine energy. Because, okay, I'm just going to put it out there, because Ukraine is in the right. Let me just move those cards slightly over. Because giving and receiving help, because Ukraine is integral towards this new spiritual beginning for the world, but also because Ukraine is on the side of right. Okay, look at these major arcana. The outcome, the judgment card, the there will be judgment from the Kremlin in regards to this. But this is very much about allowing the soul spirit to dance and sing, allowing a collective awakening. Now, I keep seeing that someone in the Kremlin's going to go off their banana and order a nuclear strike because they think that they're out of options. Now, remember, 10 government planes took off for the Ural Mountains region, which is from Moscow, which is where the government bunker is. So just be aware of that. I don't see the missile actually making it out of the silo. I've always seen it exploding within the silo. But the judgment card, a collective awakening that allows the soul spirit to dance and sing. Now, Ukraine are very careful, and they are only attacking military targets or oil production facilities, those sorts of things. They're not going after hospitals. They're not going after and specific leaders. I'll put that out there, but the leaders have all fled to the Ural bunker region. So if Ukraine is being given the freedom to properly defend itself, it will do so. And this is ending. This will bring about the ending. The truth of this will bring about the ending of this conflict and stepping over into the new beginning. Now, there is going to be some backlash against Ukraine for this attack. They know they're secure in what they've done. They don't have an issue about it. I'm wondering who. Okay, thank you. Do not be surprised if the felon comes out and attacks Ukraine for this. This is to be celebrated. The the Knight of Wands. This is a powerful message that has been sent, and it is positive message from Ukraine's point of view. And to finish up this particular spread, this is my other Zelensky card. This may be Zelensky's partner, his wife, but I just feel they are a tight unit. I'm just going to say they are a really tight unit. But it's the inspirational feminine energy. So you've got the strong masculine energy here with this new messaging, but you've also got the powerful feminine energy of the inspirational energy. the inspirational messaging coming as well. Oh, and look what's on the bottom. The Six of Wands, the victory, the seen and heard victory. Okay, so this was big. This was a really, the only negative card in there was the Devil card. This was a really big, important strike in shifting. So, oh, what did I have flipped over there? Had a couple of cards flipped over there. Yeah, it was a really important strike. This was about taking the blindfold off and choosing a direction forward. And what have we got here? The Seven of Swords, the sneaking into camp and stealing the weapons. So that was pretty much what they did. Snuck in and took out this bombing force. Okay. I suspect there was more damage than just the aircraft. I suspect a lot of the maintenance has been damaged, a lot of spares, and they can't get spares. Well, they can through nefarious means. Okay, just show me, show me, show me, show me. Yeah, new beginning. This is something's going to end, a new beginning. This is really big. This is really important. New plans, new messaging, new start. Oh, and then on the bottom we've got the devil. And I want to ask about the devil. I'm not going to say he's, a couple of you have told me that apparently Felon 45 has ordered troops. This is going to change the direction of everything in regards to this conflict. So show me. Oh, and then I've got the treason card. And you know who I'm talking about when I say the treason card. Okay, I've got the treason card. I've got the King of Cups. Is this Merce? Is this Biden? Not too sure. I've got Zelensky and I've got the Emperor. So look at these three masculine energies, and then we have the Three of Swords. The Emperor, is this Putin? Is this Felon 45? Zelensky. And then this third figure here. Treason, betrayal, heartbreak, but also look at how barren and dead the land is around on that card. So let's have a look. It goes back randomly. I want to ask, what is the Kremlin? Now, I'm just going to say, I know I say now a bit. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I get into these word habits. Long time ago, for those that have been watching me for will know that I had this really clear vision a long time ago about so Putin was walking down this wide cobbled street. It almost looked sort of like an ancient Roman street type thing. It was stonework buildings, etc. He was walking down this wide cobbled main thoroughfare, and he turned off into an alleyway that went downwards. Now, downwards, I'm assuming was his ill health. So going downwards. And what happened is out of the shadows in that alleyway, wasn't necessarily dark, but it was going down because it was only one-story buildings or something, stone buildings. In the alleyway, out of a doorway, stepped a woman, a young woman, who had a beret on. She looked very French resistance from World War II. A beret and that long woolen coat clinched in at the waist type thing. And what happened is she stepped out in front of him. The hair was up. Oh, clear as day it was. The hair was up. Stepped out in front of the Putin figure, pulled out a bang bang, and poof, gone. He fell. She whipped off the beret, tore off the coat, and underneath her hair was free, and she sort of flicked the hair, and she had on what I would call cargo fatigue pants, the ones with all the pockets in them, and a t-shirt. I don't feel Putin's around or in anymore at all. I keep hearing Dmitry, but I do wonder if that was perhaps his daughter, who apparently one of his daughters is married and living in France. And there's now talk coming out of his daughter taking over the top position. That'd be interesting. So now I don't feel that I keep getting Yulia Navalny will be really integral in whatever the new administration in Russia is. I do feel there'll be an interim, but I mean, the interim, maybe this Dmitry fella. So, what I want to have a look at is how is the Kremlin feeling? How is the Kremlin feeling? In their little hidey hole bunker in the Ural Mountains, how's the Kremlin feeling in regards to this attack? Okay, they just said 3 cards. You know, it's never 3, but come on down, let's have a look. How's the Kremlin feeling? Right, the world. It's the end of their world. It's the end. It's the end of a cycle, but it's also the end of the world as they know it, and that's how they're feeling. It's an end, full cycle. The cycle is done. This attack has changed everything. End of a cycle. Time to move on. Because it's a harsh truth that is exposed to them. Escape, potentially, or a realization that they can't win. The financial recompense, because they know they're done. The 8 of Swords, the figure looking in the mirror, knows that its hands are tied. The giving and receiving of how the depletion in the opportunities that they have potentially, and this will be about protecting what is left, hanging on, protecting what is left. Don't be surprised if they actually flee further overseas. Seeing what's on the bottom here, we've got the Ace of Cups, new beginning, got the King of Swords, strategy, truth, reality, the King of Pentacles, protection, the Lover's card, the 8 of Wands. Sorry, that was upside down. I don't do upside down. Well, interesting that it's upside down. I'll leave it that way because I'll check my deck that was the only one I've been racing through my deck that was upside down. I think the message is finally getting through. This is very possible that relationships have broken up. China's basically said, no, we're not helping you anymore. North Korea with their huge, massive warship that was highly damaged on launching. Relationships may have broken up because this is not good news coming through quickly. It can also be the missiles hitting, but the Kremlin, how they're feeling, they've been pouring themselves down this black hole of false promises for so long. The okay, thank you. The word I'm getting, the audacity of this strike by Ukraine has taken them by surprise. And then we've got the 5 of Pentacles, loss. They know that loss, disappointment, ending. Loss, disappointing, ending. And then I've got a new Russian government coming in. I think they know that this is the end. This is the end. But what are they going to do? Put it up the right way. What is the next step? This was the audacity of it was a huge wake-up call for the Kremlin, for those in the Kremlin. This is not a conflict about, I'm just going to put it this way. The way the Kremlin, they're stuck in the era of if you have the bigger force, therefore you just keep throwing bodies at the wall until the wall collapses. This is not about, this conflict is not about who has the biggest force. This conflict is about who has the best strategy and equipment. Now, I believe the Russians are driving equipment from the 1950s and 60s. The equipment is old. It is not fit for purpose. They're running out of bodies to throw at the wall. This is huge. So what is the Kremlin going to do next? What is the Kremlin? I just got holy F from the rest of the world. I think they're going to take this next step. I'm hoping it gets stopped, because I did have that cut-off switch. What's going to be the next step? What is the Kremlin going to do next? What is the Kremlin going to do next? Right, the Four of Wands, the celebratory message when you've got the darkness in the tent here. What's the Kremlin going to do next? The messaging, like the darkness in that tent where the messaging is. This could be Ukraine celebrating. I think there's something more here. Challenged by the King of Pentacles, protection, the inability to protect, emotionally walking away, disconnecting. Okay, this has got me worried. This is emotional disconnection. Walking towards emotional disconnection. In the past, the opportunity, the options to bring this to an end and start something new. I believe, sorry, I'll just lift you up slightly there. They've been very, the option was there to end this and to start to regrow, but they chose not to take it. Oh, on the bottom. So what's the Kremlin going to do? Something really foolish. It's going to, I think the button's going to be pushed. The Nine of Swords. Just this. What the F? Externally, the Queen of Cups, trying to keep a lid on the emotions, trying to control the emotions internally. Something unexpected out of left field. Hopes and fears because it's all over Red Rover. And the outcome, the Ace of Swords. New beginning, Queen of Swords. Strategy. Nightmare situation. Look at all these swords. Swords can mean they can mean intellect. They can mean brutal truth, reality, legal. But I think this is a new strategy where they've put the heart, all heart to the side, looking towards the I'm getting border, but it's going to be a Five of Swords. Keep going. We've then got the Seven of Wands, protective bubble around this bright feminine energy with this attack. It's going to be the end of the situation. And as I said on the bottom, we've got Tower, and we've got the Moon, secrets being revealed. Yeah, I do feel that this was huge because it's very clearly told the Kremlin nowhere is off limits, but also where Ukraine is not, when I say where, as in we are, Ukraine is target specific. Nowhere is safe, is what I'm getting. Nowhere is safe, but they're not attacking the people of Russia. They're attacking the military and those who are making the orders. But where are they going? Emotionally walking away, putting the heart behind bars, strategy. I'm just going to put that out there. That what we've been talking about for a while now. Okay, how's Felon 45 going to react to this? How is Felon 45 going to react? Oh, how is Felon 45 going to react? The Devil, Four of Pentacles, trying to hold on to this situation, trying to hold on through insecurity. Secrets being revealed, but then this is upside down. Now, I know I dropped them on the floor, but this is the instability of government, inability to move forward, and it's the end, the ending. I'll just pop those back and see if I can. Is this the hill you want to fall off? Let's have a look. How is 745 going to react to this? Because I have seen that there is a plan, or was a plan, to send US troops or equipment or money. Show me, show me, show me. Show me, show me, show me. Why am I'm seeing Anonymous. Now remember, Anonymous have said that they're going to bring some information out in about 4 weeks' time. But also remember that Felon 45 has changed his loyalty to the Saudis, Qatar, etc. But there was that reminder. First of all, there was a reminder after the 5th of November that you owe us, coming from a member of the Secret Service in Russia, nudie photos of Melania. So you owe us. And then there was that piece of paper. I did the blackmail video on it the other day. The piece of paper that was handed over to him with the photographs on it. What's Felon 45 going to do? Come on down. What's his reaction going to be? Right, the King of Wands. Different reading because different meaning, because I'm not talking about Zelensky at the moment. What's Felon 45 going to do? He's going to come out with some sort of new messaging, new plan, show of strength. You've got the Leo behind him here. He does have, I believe, Leo moon, if I'm correct. Your moon and your ascending or your rising, the ascending is also known as the rising, are the two most important um, planets in your birth chart. The rising is dependent on knowing a time of birth, I believe, or that might have been the moon. I'm not au fait with astrology terribly. But the two most important ones, and you need to know your time of birth, not just the day and date. The reason why the sun sign got such strong prominence, and yes, the sun sign is really important as well, but the reason it rose to such prominence is because there's only 12 of them, so it was easy to print in the newspapers. With the moon cycles, there's hundreds of dates with the moon cycle. And the same with because I believe the moon probably goes through every sign in what is it, would it be 28 days or would it be, anyhow, whatever it is, there's hundreds of them. And with the ascending, you need to know your time of birth. So it was easy to print in the newspapers, the sun sign, and that's why the sun rose to such prominence. But his moon or his ascending, either one of those, one of his really powerful signs is in Leo, which is significant in regards to his narcissism. But I'm going to say going to be some sort of narcissistic new plan or new messaging come forward here. I don't think he's going to have a choice. I think there's going to be something really powerful that comes out. His challenge is he doesn't know which way to turn. Yes, he owes these people because they know. Yes, he owes these people because they know. He doesn't know which way to turn. Indecision. He may also just be blindly going through things at the moment. Oh, here's the deceit, the betrayal, the stab in the back. So how's Felon 45 going to react? The moon, or is this the sun shining on, looks like the moon. The moon exposing deceit, betrayal, steal. So that's what he's stewing in at the moment. He knows under the cover of darkness, he's taken these steps, and Russia knows too. So he's somewhat trapped here. In the past, we've got the Judgment card, an awakening moment, an exposure. Crowning the reading, cut off at the knees, discombobulated, not sure which way to turn, emotionally disjointed, emotionally walking away in the immediate future. So how's the felon going to react in regards to leaving behind the emotions and again walking towards this sun? Okay, the star externally. I am the star. Now, I know I'm using this deck. It's a beautiful card, but one of the things that often comes out with readers when they're talking about felon and the star, this is the narcissist, can be the narcissistic star, a need to be the star. Internally, into the cycle emotionally, emotional completion, internally, nightmare situation, end of a cycle. I have said for a long time that I do see him having an emotional breakdown. So externally, tough man star, but internally, end of cycle emotionally. Nightmare situation and the hopes and fears. Oh, dealing with the devil. Doing the deal with the devil. He's going to come out with some explosive announcement, and it will be treasonous. Treasonous announcement. Some sort of new order that he comes out with, some executive order to, and these are all culminating in the one place, perhaps ordering the troops to attack Ukraine, but whatever it is going to be treasonous and foolish. Also going to bring in be one of those big ending moments for him. Oh boy. If I keep going, if I get foolish, we've got Homeland Security here. We've got the Queen of Swords, truth, the harsh truth, the brutal truth. This can be the grifting oligarchs, or feathering his own nest, or in the gilded cage with this Nine of Pentacles, not listening to what's going on in the outside world, emotionally and spiritually, then pouring himself into this false promise, and now he's getting caught. He's getting caught. There's a huge truth that's going to come out with that Eight of Swords. That with that Five of Swords is about partnership betrayals. He is caught between a rock and a hard place at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to ask, is Russia, now, whether or not the troops move to two tens, this is end of cycle stuff for him. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. He owes the Kremlin big time. And I suspect they're demanding he deliver. He is in a nightmare situation. And really, I don't think he knows which way to turn at the moment, because he made promises for decades. He can't deliver. Is he going to publicly order troops? This card keeps popping up. The inspirational, divine, feminine energy keeps popping up at me, showing herself to me. Is he going to? I think yes. With the Chariot card, as I split the deck, I think yes. It's going to be a crazy order. The Chariot can be military, chaos. Is he going to order the US troops Is he going to order US troops to help Russia? Well, the yes card, the Emperor, taking control. The Ace of Swords, yes, new strategy. But boy, oh boy, this is Five of Swords. Sneaking into camp, stealing, just betrayal, headache, nightmare situation. The Knight of Pentacles, the movement forward with the mercenary. Two of Wands, indecision about which strategy to take. But he owes. Two of Cups. He owes. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Disjointed, unexpected news coming out. The Hermit, isolated. And then the Moon, lunacy, secrets being brought to the surface. Got Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, end of cycle, new cycle beginning. We've got here the Four of Swords, being forced to retreat, further isolated. Five of Wands, the throwing under the bus. Four of Cups, the emotional loss. And then we have the emotional overwhelming, the emotional breakdown. I'm going to say he's under pressure. He's under pressure to deliver. He doesn't know how to make it happen. Rock in a hard place. Do not be surprised if he does. Big yes card. Yeah. Oops, what was that? Oh, and they fell off and exposed this one. Yes, and it's going to be considered treasonous, betrayal. I'm going to say yes, he is, in some manner. In some manner, he's under pressure to do so. It's going to end so badly for Junior and Eric as well. I just want to have a quick look at Hexeth. I know this is going on for ages. Just break it up. Show me a quick look at Hexeth, currently in Singapore. Currently, I'm just entertainment only. I'm going to say he's on the perps. He's got that real gaunt look about him at the moment. Somebody who is imbibing a little bit much. Our Australian Prime Minister has basically told him to get his nose out of our business and F off. They're now ranting on about how China's going to invade Taiwan. I mean, that's been on the cards for decades. But it's a distraction. When I saw that, I saw it was a distraction. Just show me Hexeth. Hexeth with all this. Ace of Wands. New message coming out, new beginning, challenged by the ending. An ending is discarded. An opportunity, a new opportunity being presented. Naivety in the past. He's so out of his depth. A strategy in regards to overseas or looking at get me out of here. Between a rock and a hard place with the Two of Pentacles. Drinking. He's drinking big time. Internally, just chaos. Military internally, externally, the King of Cups. I think he's just drowning himself because internally he's just in this chaos, out of control situation. Look at all these aces. He's got 3 aces. Ace of Swords and the hopes and fears. Something new legally, potentially, or just new strategy coming forward. How's Hexeth going in regards to this? The Nine of Cups. Well, she looks very joyous. It's the smug merchant type energy. Nine of Cups. Just emotion. Be careful what you wish for. Ending. Career ending. Treason, betrayal. He tied himself. The Lover's card, the partnerships agreements. He tied himself. I will never understand these people who hitch their wagon to the Felon 45 train. It's I can't name one person that came out in one piece out of his first regime. We've got the Page of Wands, new information coming out. Page of Cups, something that's just really disjointed and what the F. The Two of Swords doesn't know which way to turn, and the Hanged Man being stopped. Seven of Cups, just in this haze. And then we've got Wheel Karma coming and biting him on the backside. Yeah, it's not going to end well for Hicks. Not going to end well for any of them. Yeah, he's getting himself caught up. I think he's going to be asked to do something that even he knows. Well, I don't even think asked. I think he's going to be told to do, and he's just going to something that's just really lunatic, but also information coming out, lunacy information coming out. I think he is very much going to find himself the worm in the bottom of the bottle. Okay, that was a really long one. A lot of ground to cover there. So, okay, I'm going to leave that there. This is, again, culmination stuff on this is international stage culmination. What's going on? I'm just going to put it out there because I put a really good video about, so military wise, this is culmination stuff on the world stage. Morally wise is what's happening in Gaza. So there's a lot of what side in history are you going to be on, and where the world, this is all world stage stuff, where the world is going to come down and end after all this unravels. So this is the world stage, not a particular country. Yeah, this is military and morally. And in my post section, I posted a video in regards to the Gaza situation being the moral compass, the moral checkpoint for the world. Okay, so go check that out as well. Love to you all. Take care. Catch you shortly.